Hey there, it's me. I just wanted to show you what I've kind of done, give you a little snapshot. This is a live account. Anyway, I've spent a lot of time on this. I'm trying to mimic how I grew up, and I'd like to know if there's any next geners in here. But in any event, I can't wait to get my bot because my bot's going to have a few other features in here. But it's the one. Oh crap! Well, let's go there. I forgot I had it on. Oh well. In any event, let's see what happens here real quick. What I'm trying to do is mimic the way I was learned in the charts and whatnot. I finally did it. Now there's a few things on here, and actually I do want to move this to there. Um, I anybody from next gen is gonna hopefully appreciate this because this is how I learned. This is what I want. This is what I'm trying to mimic. And one of the things is that it has to have room to run, and this one doesn't do that. Mine is going to have these areas that it has to break certain Fibonacci areas and then continue long or whatever it might be. In this case, it doesn't do it. It doesn't matter if you're just 5 ticks underneath a big VWAP, and if it sets up, it's going to go, and I don't particularly care for that. In any event, and then also trade management. I like the fact that this third contract, I don't even want a contract on there. I don't, just get it out of here. My stop will be my target. So there's a few things that I kind of want to do on my own, and that's what I started to do. But then and that's where my ATM projections, if you notice up here, that I have, if I were to put an order on here now, I don't know if I could do it while I'm in, but you can see right here, this one here. And let me switch over to maybe an arrow. You can see this one here is level 3, level 2, based on the APJ, the stop loss based on the ATM projections. And that was the indicator that I've had for quite some time now. And that's what I'm building for a strategy. And but then I ran across Bob, and he was doing ATRs, and so then I got sidetracked over, since the end of September now. I've been messing with this. Anyway, I'm getting back on track on mine because there's just some things that this isn't doing. In any event, the moral of the story is I'm trying to mimic, these I deal with the higher time frames, and I like trading the smaller time frames, but I want to trade based on higher time frames. That's why all these reversal bars, if you look at my charts, are reversal bars. Those are reversal bars from higher time frames. And that's what my indicator, if you look at Bob's charts, if you're watching his videos, if you look on, I think it's his gold chart, you'll see these reversal bars. He's got my reversal bar indicator on here. And it just shows you where those are gonna switch. And they really mean a lot to me. And that's, I base a lot of trade management on there. And in any event, mine's going to hopscotch from pivots to ATRs. And once it passes a pivot, then one will take over, and then if it doesn't, it's going to stay underneath the pivot. Again, that's just the way I was taught. So that's what I'm going to stick with. But anyway. So what I've been able to do is stay out of the chop by using these higher time frames. So let's just let that one run for a minute. So let's come back over here, and because all day this has been choppy. But in any event, I want to go back to the earlier ones that I had when I started off with the negative. I noticed it didn't take that one. Hold on, come on. There we go. Okay, so you can see even back here, it's fiddle farting around. And what I've done is I've put in these higher time frames, and rather than toggling, shorts only, longs only, shorts only, all trades, whatever, I don't want to mess with that. So that's where this bigger time frame comes in, the 34. And actually, if I had more, mine will have more, but I want actually more than this because I don't want to mess around with that little chop. But I'm triggering off a smaller time frame. So right now, it would not even take a short because this is long, and so it's not going to, and hopefully we'll all line up, and these will all be lined up together, and I'll show you the rationale behind it. But I'm kind of, this is where I'm going with it. So in any event, it doesn't do it because, so now it goes short, and we're in that, and so it does, it goes short here. Now what happened is it didn't meet the criteria. Then and I can't, yeah, so the bigger time frame still should short, which is great. So don't even think about it long. But then it starts going up. Well, when it came back down again, it turned them into the proper sequence of all shorts, and it triggered down here, and that's the way it should. And then it comes down, and then it gets, and I still got it, and then now it's kind of popped out there. And then this one went the wrong way, which I would have never even taken because, I mean, manually, but other reasons. But needless to say, you're right here at these areas. It's like, why would you be taking a, what do you're selling in hopes to buy lower? I mean, I want to sell high, buy low. I don't want to buy high and hope for higher. So in any event, so stay out of the riffraff all morning. It's been pretty much doing this. Then finally things start to, the bigger time frames start to match up. And I didn't take those trades because I don't know if I was off at the time or it didn't take and didn't set up. But in any event, so then finally it triggers here. It finally gets out of all that crap and everything starts to line up. Right there. Everything's all lined up. Boom. And you notice it didn't hit my stop, which is set for 2.5. Okay. Target 1, target 2. Now here's where target 3 was going to be, this line right here. But I'm like, well, one, it has to go underneath this VWAP. I don't want it on top of the VWAP. But if it does break the VWAP, then why the hell would I want to get out? So again, I go back, that's the third target. I don't want a target. My target is going to be this pivot right here. So I put a stop here. Now I manually did this because my indicator stops once you hit your, whether a stop or you get hit by, you hit a target or a stop, my indicator will stop. But in any event, so I manually followed under this tail, which I do. And then, it came up and it triggered me out right here when it hit the tail as I was moving it up on the reversal bar. Okay. And it didn't get into this one here, which would have been a good one, but it wasn't matching up because the smaller time frames, the 8 or maybe even the 13 or something went down. So fine, don't get me long, and so be it. So it wasn't until it got up here, but then it never kind of came back and get me, which was fine. It came back down here, but I was on the phone and I had it off, so I don't think it took that one. But anyway, then it took this one when I turned it on again when I started this video, not realizing I had it on. So in any event, I'm glad I did. So in any event, now let's manage this here. So let's okay, so here's my pivot. I mean, technically, this should be here. It's a runner anyway, right? So who cares? So it should be under this pivot. And then once I get a new pivot up here, hopefully it doesn't break this reversal bar. This is a 14.2 reversal bar. This one is a 21.3. This one's a, I have to look at my numbers, 38.8. This one's the 48.8. This is the 70. And this is the big one down here is the, that's the bigger time frame market. This is the 110. This is the big one. I'm like, I don't even have it on this computer. It's on my wall mount. This is the bigger one. And if it reverses there, then we got some serious issues. But you can see they're all green and going up. This one I have gold regardless of direction. This one's black regardless of direction. This one's white regardless of direction. But all these are green or red depending on the direction. So you can see they are, regardless of the color, they are all lined up and ready to rock and roll. And so there's my 2.5 ATR stop trailing, but I'm going under the pivot. And this is what I was talking about as far as my program is going to teeter-totter back and forth between the two. And I wouldn't even have a target on here right now. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. I mean, yeah, I could take it right here, but I want it to break this area. And according to the bigger time frame, I'm looking at it right now on the wall, and I wish I could show it to you, but it's on a different computer. There's absolutely no reason why. Matter of fact, let me pause this and take a picture. Hold on a minute. How do I do that? All right, here, look at this bad boy. This is the big time frame. Okay, and there's my stops that I'm at right now. And there's the, is this the old, yeah, that's it. So there's my stop at 21. On the bigger time frame. This is a different computer, it has different data feeds. That's why I'm able to get both, and I have a discipline manager on it. But anyway, now here is the bigger time frame Fibonacci. That's what I'm looking at, and I could actually paint it on here. I'll go in here, load, red, and what's the number? It's 63. there. There's the fib. There's truly my target. And actually, if it starts flying, I'll just get it out of the way. And that's how I did it down in this last one here. When it was right here, I stayed out of the way. It was down here. It broke it, and then I put my target or my stop down here, and then I stopped here because I was, this VWAP can kind of trick you, so I didn't want to give it too much. So I stopped it under here, then I pivoted under there, and then I ultimately, as I trailed it up, because I knew it was going to come down and retrace, so I just kind of, and boom, and I got out on a reversal bar. And there's the 14-2 reversal bar. Usually, if you come over here, this white bar is, now it's on top because we're going down, but this white bar is the reversal bar for this particular chart. And what I'll do is I'll trail it. I'll trail it typically a tick or two right behind it. One, because I want to see the white dash, but yeah, just give it a tick or two. What's the difference? So that's, I don't know, that's just what I do. So in any event, now here's a pivot. Now there's my new one. So now that's where I'm going. And it just coincidentally matches up to the 2.5, which is great, but I feel a little better because now I have a new pivot and I can actually bring it up under there. So mine will, regardless, it's going to teeter-totter, as I mentioned earlier. My stop loss is gonna follow that pivot until the moving average passes it, and then it will start following that again. And you can manually move it, of course. But so here's our ultimate target 3, which is a 6, by the way. And I've done a lot of the what do they call it, the analysis business on these, and I did, and that's why I came up with 6, because I did like a 4 and a 10, and I was shocked because I had 3, and I'm like, well, heck, I did 4, and I did the whole range of 4 to 10, and it turned out to be like 8. So I actually made it 6, but it's crazy. In any event, so right now it's basically a free trade. We already took 2 off. I'm following the rules, which I may get popped out at, but I'm following under the pivots. And if it comes back down again, I really don't want to go in because more than likely it's going to come down to this area or probably even this line here, this moving average, the 50. It's probably going to come down to the 50 if it does break this. So my hope is that it obviously it couldn't. Obviously, if you do the thingy here, I mean that's where we're going. So if it breaks that, then I want to be out anyway. And besides, I got to go to my chiropractor appointment in 2 minutes, so I'm gonna have to sign off here. But anyway, I wonder if I should pause this. I can't pause it. I got to get going. Crap. Really would like to know. It's now. What time is it? It is. It's 12:45. Yeah, my chiro was at 12. I'm central, so I'm at 11:45. Sorry, I get going here. What do we have here? We have another pivot. We have a reversal bar and a smaller pivot. And now we're still way down here. But so now your question is, which one do you do? Do you do the pivot? Well, I'm going to do the pivot because it's closer. Giving it some room to run. I could use this reversal bar right here, but that might just kind of be a little too much. So I'll use this next level of reversal bar, which is a 21.3, a bigger chart, because everything, this is a locomotive here. Look at all these reversal bars. They're pushing this up. So I'm going to stick there, and now I'm equal with so now I'm following actually it's the bot that's taking over the 2.5 trailing, but I'm there with it, and I'll manually pull it. Now if I can get a pivot, I'll move it up to that as soon as it comes down a couple of bars. Surely if it doesn't break this. Now here's a target, okay? Here's your standard deviation. So people have their targets there. Well, screw that. If anything, I'll just do that. There's my target. Okay, so if it comes back and gets me, and you notice it just hit my 6 on my, so yeah, I'm gonna get this out of the way. Screw that. So I'm going to, not only am I behind a reversal bar, but I'm also now at the standard deviation. So that's a pretty darn good stop. Hit that target. So I wouldn't mind it coming down here a little bit, maybe just a teeny bit to get a, I could bring in a smaller time frame chart, which is the 8.2. And same thing, just the 8.2 chart. And just kind of, it blows it up into a scope. I could even bring in the 5.1, which actually brings it a little too tight with NASDAQ, a little squirrely. So that might be a little too tight. But I'll look at the 8.2 chart, to zoom in a little bit, because as soon as it goes up and busts this 47, I'm going to pivot it right there. But here's this white one. That's the 14.2. This 8.2 reversal bar for this particular chart isn't even showing up on here because of the fact that I don't even have it on here. It's too small. It's a smaller chart. So that's where I'm at. Let me pause it here and see if it does anything. It'll start moving as soon as I pause it. All right. There we go. So I'm back on. So look at that little wick. Love it. Now mine stopped. My indicator, because I hit T3, it's over. So it's not going to plot any more trail stops. It stopped right here actually. So I could actually even turn it off if you don't want to see it. Well, no, you can't. No, that's just future stuff. You can't turn off the ones that are already. So let's see, where did well, it doesn't look like it's going to bust that, so I'm thinking there's a pivot. So there's where I should be right there, but I'm going to give it at least this reversal bar of the 14.2, which unfortunately is right at a perfect entry spot. So it'd be nice to maybe go a couple ticks below that, because it could bounce off that, which is coming up here, this red one here, which is this blue one, you know, whatever, standard deviation. So, oh yeah, right, wrong color in here. I gotta change those. Those should be red. Okay, come on, stay under this reversal bar. Now, once it busts this area, then I definitely have a broken top there. You know, the problem is it's noon, or my noon, so it's 1 o'clock in New York. But it could just fiddle fart around here for a while, and it's chop. So I could turn it off, or just I do have to go. I'm going to be late for my chiropractor appointment every Tuesday. Crap. Go already. Well, oh, you know what's going to happen? If I take it off, it's going to take off to the north. And if I leave it on, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go, let me go get ready. I got to throw some shoes on and stuff. So let me pause the video and I'll come back and show you what happened. Well, hold on. Hold on. Seriously. Seriously. Come on. Do something. All right. I'm going to go get ready to go to my chiro. I'll unpause it when I come back and see what happened. Yes, I'm going. Okay. Where are we at here? Still, well, I was only gone a few minutes. I just got my shoes and texted my chiro and told them I'm just running a few minutes late. You can see how this is coming up. There's your larger time frame fib, and that's a good spot to exit. One, because I have to go, but typically I would, if it starts bailing through, if it starts cruising up there and it gets up here with some force, I will definitely move that out of the way, because what will happen is it's going to break to go up here, and then if anything, it'll come back down to start all over again. But if it just kind of eases up there, I'll let it go, unless I get popped out. But here's big, and I'm looking at big. So all my things are based on big. My stops, my targets, my trade managers, all stopped on, all predicated on larger time frames. I just want the bot to automatically trigger on a smaller time frame, but I don't want the stupid reversals. And every time, if I don't have that bigger time frame on, then the thing reverses all the time, and I don't like that. I don't want that. I've made a decision to go north, so let's go north. If you make a decision to go south, then go south. But none of this fiddle farting around like right now. We just got to bust through this. And if I weren't in this trade, it'd probably not. But if I weren't in this trade, you could see how maybe it would, you know, take some. Anyway, so there. Let me show you on this one here. So I'll just talk about these ATRs. Let's say if I wanted to put one on here and go south.
Order submitted.
No, it's not going to do it because I'm on.
Order canceled.
Sorry. Anyway, I was just going to show you the ATRs, but here's the audio for the reversal bars. Every time it reverses, it's going to say, you know, it's going up. or going down. I shut it up because it's too many. If you want to off those reversal bars, just turn them off altogether in visual. I like to see them on, so they're always on. The bigger time frames I have on only because they don't talk as much. But the smaller chart I have off because it just, you could see it. We hear, you know, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down, it's going up. You know, so don't need to hear that. I really wish it would do something here because this video is 20 minutes long now, for Pete's sake. I gotta let my dog out. I gotta go. I know, baby. I know. Yes. Why don't you say hi for the camera? I think I'm just gonna shut it off and be done with it here. It's ridiculous. I gotta go. Or you could just fast forward at this point to the end and see what happened, because I know. Seriously, come on. I know. Wait. All right, I'm almost done. You notice it didn't take out that reversal bar. And I can't tell you how many times, if you look at these wicks, tails, whatever they call them. It's a candle, so I call them wicks. But you could see here that, you know, it's not ready to reverse. And it shouldn't, because the bigger ones are saying, no, we're going up. I mean, I could take a fresher picture, but basically all they are is these just pushed up more. That's all. Again, that's 15 grand right there of indicators. So, but it's more important than the indicators. It was the training that went along with it. I still say it's the the training is the key, because basically that's how I learned. I had other indicators and I fiddled farted around myself, but John, you know, that's here we go. Come on. I learned from John, and I definitely have to give him credit for that. So if you're interested, I'll plug them right now. Next Gen T3 indicators, expensive but good. But again, it's the training. Every day, Monday through Friday. I don't really go into the room as much anymore. I do go in, you know, kind of say hi and pop in from time to time, but I don't. I mean, because it's just repetitive. I kind of know it now. But I do pop in there to just get refreshers and all that. But it's basically, he doesn't trade for you. He doesn't call out trades. He doesn't, you know, he was sued before because he's not a licensed dude. And so I'm not going to get a license. So he doesn't trade. So what he does is he says, this is what the rules are. This is where you have to go. And then you post in your pictures, and then he evaluates them right then and there. So he takes the trade, and then people post in their pictures, and he says, okay, you screwed up here, you screwed up there, you screwed up there. Next time, wait for this, wait for that, you know, whatever. You mark up your chart. This is why I did it, blah, blah, blah. He says, good, bad, blah, blah, blah. Try it again. And it's it's beautiful. It's great. It's worth $1,000 bucks. Okay. You can see it wants to bust this area here, right? I mean, we're all in there, right? There we go. All right, here, let's go back to this one. All right. So now I'll still, that tail is not busting, okay? So it's pretty solid tail, I'd say. And just in case it gets some serious, I will be tight here on this one. I should probably leave this here just to kind of have it at a glance. I could use this tail, which is the smaller tail. You don't see it on here, but you can see it's a tail. But frankly, that's the better tail right there. But there's that ceiling. So I could see it coming back down to this quote-unquote ceiling that it just made with these tops. I could see it coming down here and getting ramped up for another one. So I'll just leave it a little tighter. But when I get up here, I am going to, this is all trade management. This is what I'm trying to mimic on the bot. I mean, who's to say that's going to stop there? Sure, I could bring this down. You know, do you know something I don't know? the way they're printing money and giving money. Tomorrow is the Biden's inauguration, and it's like they're printing trillions. So, you know, I'm kind of in the camp that we're going to go long. How long? Who knows? But who am I to say? So I will just, oh, tails. Smaller tail, but I'll take it since we're so tight. You know what? I'm taking out there. Reversal bar in the bigger time frame. Tail, a tail there. Reversal bar, a big tail, the reversal bar, and a small one. So if I bust that, then I'm fine. I'll be happy. And then I can go to my Cairo. I love my reversal bars. I'm telling you, it's. I have them in version 7. Actually, Joel made them. I didn't tell you a story about that. Joel actually made my version 7 things, but then when I needed to get converted a couple years ago to 8, he was busy, and he says, "Oh, I got a customer. You know, I'm really busy, swamped, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I knew others, and so I started you know, doing everything, and so I got him done in 8. But in 8's version, I have these synthetic reversal bars. Where in version 7, I don't have the synthetics. You just have the one reversal bar, and so you can put the indicator on 2-3 times, but it just kind of gets old. But in any event, in 7, I says I want synthetic reversal bars. So, but anyway, so then I went in September. No, so a couple years passed, and then I joined Bob's room, and he's talking about Joel, and then finally he, you know, he tells me affordable or whatever. I found out, you know, affordable indicators, and I'm like, son of a gun, that's Joel. And so I knew him. So we talk all the time on Skype and whatnot. So so I have an in with Joel, not really, but you know what I'm talking about. But I do know Joel. He made the version 7. So I'm going to follow this reversal bar up because I got 2 little tiny wicks there. So basically, I'm kind of going to the 8-2 chart here, which is even smaller. Come on, baby. Okay, you can fast forward if you want. Might finally get there. So I'm going to go really tight here because I might be losing it here. But I'll give it the reversal bar and 2 wicks. So if it comes back a smidge, just to get wound up to make it the rest of the way. But I'll be really tight. I'll put my target or my stop / target will be right here at this wick if it goes back up. Now it will be this wick. I'll put it like, oh, perfect line there. That's I'll go right under there if it hits that and bounces up. But you can see we're kind of maximizing this thing here. And I would have been out, what, here at 3.
GC.
So got a little bit more. I squeezed a little bit more out of it. But I'm willing to give back, you know, 5. I usually, 5, 6, 7 points. You know, obviously depends on the market, but I'm willing to give back some just to let it run. Okay. Now here's where John, for next time, he says take the target right there. He would say, there's your fib on the bigger time frame. If you remember correctly, I'll bring in that picture again. There's the big time frame that I'm looking at, and there's the fib at 58. So he would say, you know, not 58, was it 60, whatever. So he would say just right, you know, basically, yeah, right there that would have been his target. He'd be out right now. I come from the different thing and that is, if the market taketh, then, or if the market giveth, then I taketh. And I go back to the philosophy came from another trader, is that who are you to, you know, it's like, how do you know where it's going to stop? You've got some spots, you've got resistances and all that stuff, and averages and numbers and stuff like that, but you don't know. It's one of the books I got, or I forget, I think it came from Todd. Anyway, so yeah, so that's where I manage it, and that's what I've always done, and that's where actually the discipline manager, some of those rules, the dynamic drawdown came from that philosophy, and that is when you've hit your goal, then you don't want to give back. You can continue to trade, but you don't want to give back more than X%. And so, you know, default 50% of that. You only give away half. So that's where that kind of came from. Now, some people have the adage, if you hit your goal for the day, you're done. And that's fine too. But, you know, if you're having a good day and the market giveth, then why stop? You know, you got to make up for some of those days that you got stopped out at. So, you know, anyway, I'm tempted to pause this again, but now I'm late for my chiropractor. I did let him know that I was going to be a little late, but that's not fair to him. But, you know, hey, I'm the customer. Okay, I'm going there because it's not going to, I'll tighten this up. Or I'm tightening this up. Take that. Now there's the reversal bar for this 582 chart, and the white is the reversal bar for the bigger chart. So I like this wick. I like that. So, and again, it definitely should be out here, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen it blow through fibs. Those are nice guides, but you see this moving average with the third standard deviation. It's already cruising still. So, yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing. Anyway, we're just kind of putting that out of the way here so I can get it quickly. All right, so I see a little tiny bit of a wick here. So I'm really so I'm going to go onto the reversal bar of the A2, which is really tight, and this little tiny teeny wick here. So I'll give it a little wiggle room, but not much because I'm kind of maxing this thing out, I think, or what I think. What I think and what I see are two different things. What I see is a market going up and government giving money away. That's what that's what I see right there. There's that this orange bar. That was that. Was that what was that for? I forget. Yeah, that was our top from this chart, right? Isn't that this one? Yeah, that's that one. That was our so-called top from our little choppy area right here. So I could actually kind of show the bottom of that. Just kind of, there's a nice bounce area. If it comes back down that far, I don't know if it will, but if it comes back down here, we could actually do this. Let's do this. Let's get rid of these. Let's do this. Let's do, wrong thing. Sorry. Let's do this. Now get rid of these. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. There we go. Put it back. Put it back. Let's make this. Okay, I'm just waiting here. I'm just killing time. You could fast forward. I don't want to offend me. Where's the icon right here? Let's do 10. There we go. All right, so where are we taking this? All right. So I could go to the reversal bar, but I got some big wicks here, and because of where we are, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna shave it off. I mean, you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna pop me out, go another tick, and then take off. But I gotta go. Well, cruddy duddy. All right, this video was not intended to be 30 minutes long, for Pete's sake. So yes, you go right ahead, and it will not offend me if you go ahead and fast forward this, because I really got to get going here. It takes me 5 minutes to get to the cargo, but I don't want to miss it. With 2 neck surgeries, I got to have it. Didn't really know much about a chiropractor until I met my wife. She was a chiropractor, a fresh one, just graduated. And then we ended up starting some. I had a business, and so she worked with me for a couple of years, and then we sold that, and we opened up a chiropractic business, and then we, at the end of all that time, we ended up having 6 clinics in Chicago, and we sold them all in 2017. I'm sorry, 2007 we sold them. She continued to practice till 17 on her own, but we sold the clinics in 2007. Now, I'd like to say that I saw the crash of 2008 coming, so that's why I wanted to sell, but I'll go with that, yeah. But quite frankly, that was just pure luck. And who's to say? But anyway, so we sold in 2007 and worked out well. And then I still worked for the fire department, and so I had all my 40 years and 30 in pension, and 40 from cadet and volunteer days and stuff. 42 to be exact, but who's counting? And then she was just treating on her own and blah blah blah. And I don't know. And just to kind of cut to the end of it, she passed away 2 years ago with breast cancer. So needless to say, I'm home alone. I got nothing to do. I got the 2 teenage kids up there, but they don't want to be by me. So other than that, oh my word, where are we going with this? I really want to take it off and go to my chiropractor. There's no way in hell I leave this on. You know what I will do though? I will turn it off. I don't want to leave and forget that on. That's for sure. That would not be good. Now I'm trading micros only because a couple of reasons. One is I like them. Two, I could scale out. Three, I don't have the. This is a bot that I'm not, you know, still totally comfortable with. So I don't have the intestinal fortitude to put on NASDAQ. But if I get the statistics that I'm hoping to get, I will. And the reason why I like the NASDAQ, I haven't really experimented with anything. Last couple of weeks ago, I took up all my charts. I got rid of the silver. That was good, but it's like, come on, my computer was kind of giving me some hassles, and I'm like, I just want to focus on this. So I focused on NASDAQ, but I am interested in doing YM because it acts the same. ES, I won't because of the fact that I'm looking for these quick triggers, but the bigger time frame has to match, but then I want the quick triggers, and I want it to look the way that I'm trying to mimic the setup the way I was taught, and I'm getting pretty darn close to it. So that's where I'm at with this. Needless to say, I can go into other things, but I'm not going to. Here, let me do this. Let me show you. Let me put that over here. Yeah, just put it here. Let me get. Hold on a minute. I'll show you. Oh, gotta go. Let me get out of here. Here is the 14.2 with my indicators. This is the top step account. Let me see. So this is the real account. But you can see the indicators here. You can see these are all fibs that are John's $15,000 fibs. And they're and I don't even want to get into that, but you can see these triggers and stuff. There's a lot of training that goes into this. That's how I learned it. But you can see this is setting up for another move actually. But I gotta go. So actually, I'm in a spot right now. My stop is at a spot right now where there should be an entry. I should have a limit order right there. So technically, I should be behind here. But quite frankly, I don't care. Anyway, that's the 14.2, and the best I could do it on this chart is looking like that. But I think I'm pretty close to it. But I want mine because my bot with ATMs, because it's going to be based on the setups will be based on next gen's setups. The bot will actually trigger that once the setups match. It's also going to have, if there's room to run, okay, it'll match the criteria. If there's no room to run because there's some VWAP or something that's in the way that you select, then don't take it. You got to have at least 20 ticks. Well, that was just the way I was learned, 20 ticks or I might actually convert it to an ATR. I must have an ATR of blank in order to have a trigger. In any event, once it does trigger, then I want my stops to take over, which is a little bit kaj-maj between the ATM and pivots. It's next gen's pivots the way I've learned, and it is my ATRs based on the dynamics of the particular market. So I'm gonna go under here. Screw that. I'm probably gonna get out. This is right where an entry should be. I don't. Well, here I'll go that reversal bar, which is 21.3, and this this pivot I know if John ever watches this, then he's going to be saying, why are you taking your money out? Because I know the philosophy, but this is mine. So as soon as I get a reversal bar here on this small one going back up and turns this smaller 8-2 reversal bar down here to a green again, then that's where my stop's going to go. Oh my God, come on. Just come out and get me out of it. That's fine. So here's your entry. This is a beautiful entry right here. Yeah, limit order right there. Okay, there you go. Now the question is, does it bust this again? I know. Just squeeze your legs together. And you can handle it. Oh, come on. This is killing me. All right, here. I don't care. I'm going reversal bar. No, not right now. I know you're fine. You just went out. There's a wick. There's a small reversal bar, not the bigger one. We got to get past this. Now this 14-2 reversal bar has already crossed over here on the big chart. So we got to get past that. We got to turn this. We got to turn this. We got to turn that green. If we can't, then it's coming down a little further. But I'll be out of here. Oh God, come on. This is ridiculous. But it's not over. So. But if it busts this, I mean, this is truly a good area for, although, yeah, this is truly a good area for a limit order to go long, because you've already passed your fib on the bigger time frame right here. You're over your fib, which if I look at the chart now, it's still showing red. It hasn't converted to blue yet, but it's still red. But you're over it. Now you're just coming back for a retrace. But it's on a bigger time frame. So this bigger time frame could definitely come back down to the 50 or even to here or something. You know, who knows? If we get up here on the double top and can't bust through it, then, you know, who knows? But let me try to pause it for a second. You know what? I'm going to pause it, let the dog out, and then I'll come back and it's either going to be over or not. So I do not. I guess I could leave it on. Should I leave it on? Yeah, I guess I could leave it on. I'm going to let the dog out. And you know what? If I come back and if it's closed and it got out of its order, then I'll just turn off the video. So there's really nothing to stay on for unless you want to fast forward to the very end of the video, and I might say a little goodbye, but that's pretty much about it. The goodbye is going to be the target / stop. So I will be back. I'll let it run. Come on, Lauren.
Order canceled.
I'm late. Is it okay, or you're canceling me? Ah, okay. I was trying to get there. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. Just let me could I just put you on hold for a second? All right. Hey, Mia? No. Okay. Trade's over. I'm done. Now I just got a call from my chiropractor saying that they got to reschedule. So, in any event, it was worth it. I'll get it tomorrow. Okay. I'm signing off. Goodbye.